Good morning, everyone. Okay, we got the S&P's little blast off there yesterday, right? Late in the day, as we had that tight consolidation. Look at the S&P's. A week ago, we talked about that 4,900 level, possibly creating ignition if it went sideways around it, and that's pretty much what happened late in the day. Besides, interest rates began to fall, and we'll see if it all stays that way as we get closer to the Fed meeting. But it was most indices and markets participated. You can see the wide range bar, the range expansion bar in SPY. So that becomes a level that should not be violated on a closing basis today. 100%. Pretty obvious that that would be a problem if it closed under there today, and it shouldn't. There's JOLT report at 10 o'clock and consumer confidence. So some other stuff at 10:30. Just be aware of that. That things could move one way or the other sharply on that report. Right now, you can see where prices are gapping down a little bit. No big deal. It's in the upper, I don't know, quarter, 10%, 15%. A little move down is not a big deal. You can see the cursor on the hourly and the 15-minute chart and the daily chart. It's not even down near what we'd call minor support on the hourly. The hourly has a wide range bar igniting out of a consolidation. Major support is down here, so all the levels to be aware of. Crystal clear. Set alerts. See if they come down there, give or take. But even this minor support on the hourly chart, the ideal scenario is it doesn't get down there today. You can see because it's the top of these three bars. So markets, the S&P had a little resting period there, and now it's ignited out of there. So, it rested. It ran a little race yesterday. Maybe it needs a little breather, maybe not. Continues higher, but ideally it shouldn't come back down there since it rested. So if it does, we've got to say, it's not doing what it should do or typically does when it acts as bullishly as it has or did yesterday. So keep that in mind. SPX. So clearly the range expanded yesterday. Look at the 5-day range, which was in the 20s. Now it's about 30, 31. And so that in mind, where the close was, a little gap down today, 30 points down, doesn't even make it down here where it supports 38.75, unless that report at 10 o'clock is something that really that jolts report jolts the market. S&P isn't or shouldn't go down there today. Getting back up to 90, 49.50, that's in the realm of possibilities. Sure. Um, you know, so 30 points from here to get up there. It is you know, the half strike and the whole number strikes, they tend to be resistant. So if it touches that, it's unlikely it's going to get too much further beyond it if that is in the card that it takes it off. So these are pretty good numbers today, after a wide range bar and a little consolidation. That jolt report could be a market mover. So that's the kind of fly in the ointment, so to speak, that what's going on. JF on YouTube there is mentioning the DAX. I don't have DAX data, but I did see on the ticker on CNBC this morning that Germany is near recession. So I don't know what their markets look like. I imagine, they've moved up with other markets as it's typically the way it is. All-time high. And so they're going into recession. So go figure. So those kind of things Is this irrational exuberance what this market is doing? Probably so. It's had a heck of a move. It's it's gotten a little more than a little extended. It's furthering the extension here, and maybe into the Fed will be a pinnacle point. That maybe things run into Jerry and company say something a little dovish, and the market runs up. So, you know, internals are getting to a point where breath is getting close here. So if this continues to run up, these internals are going to line up in a bearish alignment. So when it's not quite there yet, today is a resting period, probably would be a good thing. We'll see if that happens. Now, is this the yeah, look at the last few days here. So when we look at the day-to-day advancers minus decliners, it's not an advanced decline line. But look at down here. You get the explosion. That's what you want to see. Not only here, you want to see it here, but you want to see that breadth, the moving average of breadth that we look at, to be going up, and it's lagging. So here's another, it takes off again, and the breadth confirms the move and consolidates, and it pegs up here, close to 2000. And again, and so this resting period, normally it's not going to be there. But where was the confirmation here? Where is the confirmation here? So that doesn't mean, obviously, you can see it doesn't mean the market can't go up. It just means that you should be looking over your shoulder and saying, you know what? The end of January 2024 isn't November 2023 or December. And it's up a lot and things look great. Nice, but we all know it's going to come to an end at some point, and there's going to be a correction. And while that correction, I don't know if I just grab this, let's just say it starts from here and the market corrects 5% and comes down here. That's not a big deal. Right? If the prices were to come down to this area of support, that would be normal. But always under the hood, there are going to be stocks that are going to get killed. So when we talk about the market, that's one conversation. Then as we get into speaking about individual stocks, that's another conversation. So it's, based on what you're looking at. But historically, market may pull back 5%. There's going to be stocks that are getting clobbered 20, 30, 40%. Is this a buy to dip market? Well, I think it is until proven otherwise, Robert. Right? The trend is up on the daily time frame. As we look at these markets, the trend is up on the weekly time frame. So it's at new all-time highs. And when we see what is, we make assumptions about the future. We don't know what it's going to be. But hey, if this thing crashed with one bar down into this support level, was a monstrous wide range red bar, clearly we wouldn't be questioning whether it was, buy the dip. So, predicting the future is a pretty, not an easy thing. And how much do we want to do that? We just know what it is. And so we'll assess reversals and where support and resistance is and how other markets, what they look like. But, yesterday, looking at many things, just take a quick peek here at a few markets. And, you look across markets and you say, hey, they're in uptrends. Are they extended? Have some of them gotten extended? Absolutely, they have. And, consumer staples is just consolidating. That's probably going to pick up the steam. Retailing, we need to see retailing and the Russell, them start to break out here, right? Aerospace and defense. So you've got a lot of laggards here, which would be nice to see them, start to move higher. Here's the Russell. Here's the transports. So banking. You can see the charts here. There's lots of stuff that could play some catch up. That but still they have constructive charts. Look at regional banks. Here's another broker dealers. So many things looked great yesterday, and then we go back and look at the internals and look at the broader markets being extended and so on. So, and I'm telling you all this just to keep it in perspective, because it's human nature to just become enamored with what's happening and thinking that the market will never pull back, but at some point it's going to. So, and the main thing is, look, take your trades, adhere to your stops. That's the big thing, because what happens is, you think, oh, they're going to buy the dip, it's going to come back, and then the dip doesn't move up as much as it did, and then before you know it, you're holding something that you didn't anticipate to. So keep it in mind. All right. Transports look good. They're at resistance. Everything pretty much looks good, or that it should go up. Um, Qs didn't make a new all-time high. Semiconductors came down a bunch, and they were faltering. And then at the end of the day, everything else started going up. So, they came up, and you can see how far that is from the high. They're down here a little bit into that range, not a big deal. And you can see the depth of retracement here. IWM, that looks good. See if that continues higher. We talked about all these downside shakeouts yesterday. It closed at its high, gapping down a little bit, not a big deal. We'll see if it continues to go higher. Interest rates came down yesterday, TBT or the 10-year. So that helped ignite the markets. And we can see where they're at right here. They're on the 20. We'll keep an eye on this to see whether it continues lower, and that helps to push the markets higher. The dollar kind of just hanging out here. You want to set an alert above these highs. That came in. So interest rates came down yesterday. The dollar came down. Markets went up. That's been the typical relationship. So, set your alerts, and you don't have to watch them, but, set your alerts. Be aware of which way they may be heading intraday. Gold is up here a little bit. Maybe it's starting to take off. The weekly is not great, not bad. Maybe toe in the water here. You can see where it's perking up there. Silver, which we've been talking about for a while, down, getting closer to this support. And buyers are stepping up ahead of coming all the way down to these prior levels here. So things may be shaping up here for gold and silver. Crude oil taking a bit of a rest. What determines if interest rates go up and down? Banks, hedge funds, their perception of where the economy is going, whether it's improving or not, their perception of what they think the Fed is going to do. So the Fed doesn't necessarily, well, they can buy bonds and sell bonds and somewhat control intermediate to long-term interest rates, but the banks and hedge funds are going to do what they're going to do. So the only direct, say manipulation, but it is direct manipulation that the Fed has is on short-term interest rates by, raising and lowering the Fed funds rate. So there's been for over a year speculation that they're gonna stop doing anything, which they have stopped. Now they're speculating that they're going to lower. Just think about, look, greed and fear push the markets around, and investors, hedge funds, whatever, they will step over your lifeless body to go get a dollar. So whatever direction, these things, they believe these things are to go into, going to make money, it's going to happen. Um, so, well, the Federal Reserve is in control of short-term interest rates. That being said, the 13-week T-bill, which we follow on a regular basis, historically begins to move before the Fed does. So those banks and hedge funds, investors, whatever, whoever they are out there, doesn't matter, are going to look at all the information that's available. And they are going to place their trades based on their beliefs. Now, the only way that that is displayed to us is by looking at the information that we could look at. And this little rounding top up here is what I put in place back then to say, look, this thing's starting to roll over here. And you can see it's been chopping and now it's leveled out. So the uncertainty about what the Fed is going to do is displayed here. So I've got an alert up here. Maybe it starts to drop. We'll see what they say today. And, we'll assess what short-term interest rates do and what these intermediate term interest rates do, which way they start going. So there's this uncertainty now. You see the 13-week chop was going sideways. This dropped yesterday, so that's a positive sign. So we look at this intermarket analysis, and we look at market internals, and we take a consensus of this information that guides us to a bias. And then we look at the charts to say, hey, are they going up? Are they going down? Are they going sideways? Bullish price action at resistance. I see a green bar like that. That suggests to me this should go up. And ideally, it shouldn't go down. And then we wait to see what's going to happen. All right, Bitcoin, that's up here a little bit. And so I think, that's about it. We'll see what happens here at 10 o'clock, what numbers, then of course tomorrow. And if things should take off to the upside, as yesterday suggests that they will, we're probably going to be closer to some corrective price action, and we'll know that when it comes. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Let's look at my alarms first. Yeah, we added a ton of bullish trades yesterday. This was one of them. My up alarm went off. So I just said sell a third pre-market up here, up $1 or so. Most stuff break even. Shop, I had an up alarm going off, but I see it coming in. We bought the stock and sold puts. PAG P is down. Let's move stock 30-minute low. On Jable, I had an up alarm go off, but I think it was a false alarm. Hope so. This is one of our few shorts. Well, I think maybe only short actually. Everything else is bullish. YouTube, let's see what's going on there. Booty Sauce. That's an interesting screen name.
Yeah, and you're not showing charts.
No.
No.
All right. All right, here we go. All right, Booty Sauce. I know what booty is, not sure what the sauce part is. Be an interesting conversation if you come visit us in the green room. He's asking about Sophie. Yeah, that had earnings yesterday. Gap up, nice volume. Nothing to do now though. You're not asking me what your bias is, so all I can do is talk. It's a bullish gap, but there's no setup. It's rolling over here on the 15-minute chart. So it looks like it's going to pull in more. Raul, GWRE. Yeah, buy setup. Uptrend 20 MA. Let's put that on the list. Thomas. Bravo Kilo. Yeah, Thomas, you always send me a lot of ideas in the morning, which yeah, you come up with good stuff. Yeah, a lot of regional banks broke out. We posted a number of them. And actually, I had TPX as a long today, BPMC as a long. I had up alarms go off, but I don't see any prints now. Play. Did I lose my pre-market? No. So I don't know. Maybe those were false alarms or whatever. We'll know at the open. Square. It could be the start of something. A little breakdown failure. Buy setup on the weekly. It's gapping up here, so there's no good entry, but this could be the beautiful start of a turn. You know, when we say the turn is made on a bigger time frame, many times they're not clean like this. But this is a beautiful retest, 200, closing new high. Let's see what old PayPal's doing. Yeah, I had it on my list when it started ripping over here. I like Square better. Square pattern. Silk. It's strong as can be. It's just too extended for me. You know, you're getting, some errors getting thin up here, far from the 20 and 50. Delta 24. Yeah, there's a good breakout. Yeah, that looks good. Delta 20, I like it. Put it on the list. All right, let's go up to earnings. We only did one earnings today, UPS, and it's gapping down, but we have the 145s. So it's $3 away. I mean, I was hoping it'd be higher, of course. Condors, we want to open flat. We have an out of the money 170 call spread, out of the money 147, $2 white put spread, 52 cents. So there's a extremely high probability we still have a nice gain at the open because it's $3 away and expiration this Friday and it's only $2 wide. SMCI has just been insane. I remember this gap and go day, and now it's incredible. So I have, when things run into earnings and then they have a stupid gap up, my bias. It doesn't mean I'm going to do that because I need confirmation. But my bias is call spread 30-minute low. So I have that one, FFIV. Now this one's not as vertical extended because it was stair stepping higher, but it's still capping at 203 and change. If it can't take out a 30-minute high, that's a call spread idea just for Friday. Cliff, I set an alarm at 1890. I like to buy setup weekly. Let's see if it can negate the gap down. H-lit, $11, bearish gap under green bar. Call spread, maybe day trade short. CLS, 34 and change. The gap's too big. Watch it pull back. HP, $38. I personally would just, if I owned it, would be selling right into strength. It's up a lot and gap into resistance, no interest. Two, gapping down a little. 30-minute low, short idea. NUE, 179. Need a pullback. Cade. And this, I said yesterday in the green room, that if it opened flat, it'd be a beautiful beautiful breakout trade, but gap's messing it up. ELS, I have an alarm at 6650. It's a sell setup. Calyx, this looks like the disaster du jour of the morning. Look at that big old gap. Ugly. Whirlpool, ugly gap. Near these prior lows, nothing to do. ARE is a REIT. 30-minute high, if it opens flat, 30-minute high maybe. This trades like it has light volume. I don't like the way it trades, but 30-minute low is a short idea. There's the big gapper. It's coming in already. Now, we would have traded this yesterday. Nice 180 breakout. I think, Sam, this was on yours list, but it had earnings. Now it's gapping at 151. That's a big gap. But the question is, what are you going to do with it? I don't have a bias. There's no pattern. If I were in it, I'd be selling it. Triple G, no, I don't see a gap. Sanmina, 59. That's a bullish gap. I mean, $9 on a $50 stock, that is massive gap. But it's bullish. It's a pro gap. You know, we're going sideways with a flat 20, 50, and now it's gapping up this big. So let's see, look at F5 coming in hard now. Man, it's down $10. Look at this, 204 to 194. You see why I had a bias of lower? Shoot. My cliff alarm just went off, so that's creeping its way higher. PCH, I don't like the way you trade overlapping bars. Charlie Romeo, same, no pattern. These were now earnings in the morning. DHR negating the gap down. Put spread idea. Pfizer up a little bit. I was hoping it would go lower over here and test these over here. It's KMX. Yes, but it's not a good entry because the 15-minute is an end of day rally climactic sell setup. So it would be much better to get a buy setup, maybe to the 20 MA, or try to get a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It needs to rest here, Don. So it's right here, all these overlapping bars. But it is still a beautiful bottoming pattern. You got your weekly buy setup and triggered. It's just you need to work on the entry. All right, UPS we know about. HCA 295. There's a put spread idea. My option traders, whenever I say this, I could use help at the open in particular. MPC 163. It's a breakout, all time frames. We need a pullback. General Motors on fire today. That's a big old bullish gap. That was bro. Sam, this is yours. We got 3 bottoming tails now. Remember I said, Sam, that I did not trust one tail because the gap was big and I wanted it to come lower. But now 3 tails I like better. So it looks bowing at the low I see. So I'm going to put this in a window. Bro, you feel me, bro? All right, here's it's not a quality sell setup, but it still is one because the retracement was too deep. But now it's gapping down under these 2 bars. This could be a 30-minute low idea or a call spread. This one's moving train, no interest. That's why. 30-minute high if you're inclined. I don't like the overlapping bars. Chip. Uh, Look at this. Ah, this is pre-market is why it's not showing the print down here. Say it's not showing the print, but that's another sell setup. Corning, big old gap, but gap's too big. All right, we do have an open profit on UPS, but shoot, it's only a profit of a dime. I thought it would be a whole lot more. Shoot. Um, Pulte trading range approaching that prior high, no interest. Hub bouncing all over the place. AOS, there you go. There's 30-minute low. Right there, 30-minute low, call spread. Let me check 82 calls. There are no 82s and there's no weeklies. So 30-minute low, that's an idea. Almost done here with earnings. PNR gap under green bar, no interest. OSK gapping down, trading range, but it's a breakout failure, no interest. PII bottom of the range. We'll come back to you. That's a buyout, no interest, man. Could that's they buyers sure stepped up with vengeance. Not doing anything now, but we can, maybe put spread. 30-minute high, gap's too big. Hewlett Packard, that's a bullish gap. I would love this gap if it opened up at 82. I would be all over that as an igniting gap from an inverse head and shoulders. All right, so let's say SMCI. Um, people are taking their profits, which I would be doing the same. And then look at the deep retracement, and well, it looks deep here, but it's not as deep here. But that was another one I had as a call spread idea. All right, I got a ton of alarms. All right, that's Jable did. All right, Jable did. Shoot, gap up. What was our stop? I know I'm obviously hit. Jable 126.42. All right, so yeah, we're out of that. That's a bullish gap, so I don't even want 30-minute high on that. Checkpoint. Yeah, I'm in no rush, but yeah, it's consolidation, nice uptrend. Boeing coming in. Bro, maybe 30-minute high. Our ALB from yesterday. Let's see if we got filled. It triggered yesterday, but we did not get filled. We wanted the 117, 112. $66. So we can do 70. Ah, nice out on the third pre-market. Look at that, Greg. We sold a penny from the high pre-market up here. A third lot. All right. All right, this thing did gap under our stop, so let's move it 1648. It's PAG P. GFF. That sounds like an Aichi alarm to me. Yeah, that's an Aichi pattern from yesterday.